The boy turns, his ears warm, wet and red, eyes hot, blurry, face burning from where the fragments of glass had found purchase. He crawls forward at the promise of a silhouette. "Anyone, help me!" He cries out in vain. He knows nobody would stop. Not now, not ever. But he calls nonetheless, drawing their attention. A gnarled visage of horror emerges from a razor's edge slit in the very air before him. From a doorway of lightning sculpted from glimmering silver they come, and in an instant an army stands before him. Rows of needle-like teeth and pale green wart-covered skin, bursting bulbous green eyes and long, slender, ropey muscled arms that end in clawed fingertips await his approach. And as the boy gets close enough to see the creature, through his blurred vision, a grin of mischief finds its way across its cracked lips. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the tea house where tales are told. Today's tale of trials and tribulations is tried and true. To tell this titled tribute tickles and titillates in these trying times. Okay, I'm done. If you like the content, leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. Thanks for listening. And without further ado, it's time to open up shop.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I have no more T words for you. I'm sorry.
Ready?
No, that's okay.
What was it?
Term
Tickle,
when words
tribulate.
don't mean anything anymore.
Intros. I think the term you mean is intros.
I don't like our foray into edging because I hate it when the story stops and it doesn't finish.
Sorry about that. You got a little while of that left.
We'll make a master cut after he's done with his story so that it all actually bleeds into each other.
Yeah.
My favorite part will be like the different facial hair that we see like after our
Yes.
Just
Man,
just
it's
have
gonna
like
be hard to
screen.
make that flow well. It's gonna be like jarring cuts and light changes.
whatever.
You just make it audio.
Yeah.
No, why are you taking my
No,
joy
guys,
away?
let's continue discussing the logistics of this. I like
Oh, yeah.
last time. Following the elven man driving concerned for the carriage that contained the captive Killian, I wasn't done. The deviants delved daringly into the decrepit deluge of the cult of Zamayatel. When nearing the bottom of the crumbling craven catacombs, they are beset with battle from an angelic monstrosity of misguided morals made manifest by maniacs. It snacks upon the skeletal statuette and ferociously fights our favored fellows. As their position promises a pinnacle, Vincent propositions Papa and he appears. Employing the enormous energies within Killian and Matilda are divested from death's door with a precarious presence of power. The celestial skinwalker, who was mere moments from plucking the pernicious publication from Matilda's mitts, now looks upon the potently prepared party with panic and proper perspiration as we dive back into the darkest depths of our deviant Dungeons and Dragons day date.
Woo!
Yeah!
Amazing.
Wow. Also, I like that we know the peak perspiration level of this monster.
Yeah.
Adrian, that was
Propositioning
so good.
Papa.
He propositions Papa and he appears.
Hey, you can laugh all you want, but holy shit, that was good. Like
It was great.
For poetry, yes, great use of
Mwah.
alliteration and what was the other one where it's like there's like ones that are like fuck, I can't remember my poetic devices, but good use of them.
Great use of alliteration and fuck. Thank you.
I think it's assonance. There we go. Assonance and alliteration.
But the battle begins.
Huh?
We look now upon the scene as both Matilda and Killian rise, looking onwards towards this new power, in their unconscious state finding only a brief moment of peace before them. And now, as they are thrust back into the world around them, this creature, just reaching down towards you, Matilda, sees all this occur. Lavos appears between you and places his hands upon you, and your ash bonds begin to grow. I will go down initiative order. First, we will begin here. As the creature looks down, and you can see the just like sneering, snarled face, like just turn into a moment of surprise and fear. It leans back. Matilda, what does your ash bond look like as it grows to new levels of power? Give me a word picture.
Okay. Well, I like to think that it like creeps up, kind of like really weird, wispy shit, and then it like forms into a a black Oh man, I remembered what the flower was that I wanted to call it, but it's a black flower, and in the middle of it is an eye.
Is it
And
the Black Dahlia?
Like, no, it was. I can't remember what the flower was. Sorry, guys.
Okay, sorry.
But it's a black flower with an eye in it, and the eye is like crying, and it's right where her throat would have gotten slashed in the dream that she had.
Ooh. And as the ash bond continues to move upwards, the ash that falls around you slowly kind of moves down and once again almost begins to just move in an air around you, as though afraid to come into contact with your body, but commanded by both your will and Lavos, moves in and just coalesces upon your body. And with each fleck, the tattoo continues to grow, and this bloom just blossoms on your throat before solidifying once more into that inky tattoo that holds onto your flesh.
It was an azalea.
Mm.
Because azaleas are really interesting, because if you have bees that feed on their and make honey, the honey is actually poisonous or can make you go insane, because the flowers are super poisonous. And also, if you want to send someone a death threat, you put azalea in a black vase. So I was like, very, very pertinent. So that's why it's a black azalea, because it's not in a vase, but it's like a death threat kind of deal.
Might I suggest Black Azalea? A very fucking cool adventurer name.
Yeah.
Ooh, title.
Killian, as the camera shuffles over across Lavos' broad shoulders and kind of just like cuts in behind his head to show a different scene of you now. It zooms down upon your body, and as you open your eyes, what happens?
So the symbol of Lavos that's like on the side of her bicep, the ash forms into like small pieces of gears that start to twist and turn around it. And as that gear turns, it creates like additional gears on the side. One that has a hammer and anvil within it, and the other that has Bladebeak's mouth open, or like a rough estimation of Bladebeak's mouth. And then additional small little essentially like the tops of screws appear across her arm and like a little bit on her neck, as well as on the nape of her neck.
And you can see the ash moves in this rhythmic pattern, almost being drawn in by your heartbeat and mechanical movements as it settles upon your body, and the tattoo begins to grow and flourish across. Each of you feels this power well up within you, and as your wounds just close, the ash hits your skin and it just begins to stitch closed all of these wounds, the burns, the pain that you had felt nullifies and just dissipates to nothing. And as you slowly begin to stand once more, kind of the exhaustion leaving your muscles, in typical and just canonic, that's a word, literary fashion, the next up in the turn order is Vincent, and the two of you go last. So Vincent, you are up.
So Vincent just sees all this happening, and he's just like, "You guys got this, right?"
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
Lillian's in the process of picking herself off the ground. She just gives you a thumbs up.
He'll look over towards Lavos. Is Lavos just concentrating on them, or does he look at him?
Lavos looks over towards you and just gives you a nod.
Good. We'll take a step back to here. As he reaches the end of the spot there, he'll be like, and he'll turn around and his hand will flame and he'll chuck it at the dude as he continues walking.
Lobbing a firebolt, this guy will have +5 to his AC from where you were previously.
20, so 15 to hit, I guess.
15 does not hit. Actually, as you stride away, you lob this firebolt backwards. It just dashes against that golden shield that encircles the beast and dissipates immediately.
Yes. Then he'll continue walking.
As you stride over back towards the tall ladder that leads off into the darkness above you. You see the promise of light above from the room that you had previously left. And as you end your turn...
Does boy maybe do something? Like maybe get an unconscious party member?
Yeah. It's the boy's turn. I had to wait for Vincent to end. Boy, kind of like assessing the situation, kind of starts snarling at the Fury spawn. And, but heeding Vincent's last call, which was to bring Jojo to safety, he's going to move through his allies. So that is 10, it's 20 feet of movement. Do 30 to get to there, and then he'll dash. Here. And Jojo should be on him.
Oh, I guess I can. Oh, yeah, you can move me.
I got you.
Bianca.
Being carried by Boy. As you stride past Lavos, Lavos just reaches a hand down to go and scratch the dog's head. Does it do anything?
I don't think it really pays attention, so it'd probably be fine.
Just runs his hand down the head and around the back, avoiding the gaping open mouths with tongues kind of like lashing out. Some of which kind of like closed around Jojo's clothing, keeping her tight to the body of the creature. Just kind of begins to move around. Every now and then a tongue lashes out, kind of plops on you, Jojo, taking a happy lick.
I picture like some of the tongues turned into like black, like smoky stuff, and was like wrapped around, like, a safety belt around.
Aw, I was just imagining I wake up and I'm just covered in dog slop.
Yeah, well, that is also a thing.
Awesome.
Cool. And he will end his turn.
The Fury Spawn, as it reaches down towards you, Matilda, and attempts to pluck the book from your hands, you clutch onto it now with your new consciousness, and it teleports immediately 20 feet over here, just disappearing into a mist and appearing as it turns and begins to just flee into this chamber off into the side. It does not have your book.
Oh!
It reached down. As soon as you maintained consciousness, you see this just frustration and fear cross its face. It clutches its hand in just aggression and then goes over here, flies back, and is just making a beeline towards the corpses on the ground in the room previously.
Oh.
As it appears over here, it actually has more than enough movement to make it over, and it reaches down, grabs one of those bodies, and the wings once again just flip around and begin to encircle it. And at the end of its turn, Jojo, you are up.
I'm stable, I believe. Yeah. My turn ends!
Your turn ends! Don't worry, only 3 more hours.
Don't worry about me, guys. I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
The cultist who was previously running towards the Fury Spawn makes his way into the room now and looks on towards everything that's happening with the newly rejuvenated 2 of you. They turn... Ooh, do you? He runs over here and makes his way onto one of the black tiles in an attempt to get away from your guys' line of sight. I'm gonna roll damage for that. Okay.
Run back over to his master, Slag, please.
Turns and begins to just rush out of line of sight, not seeing the Fury Spawn within. Morrigan looks onwards towards this creature and just says, "No, you won't escape." Makes her way over here and just kind of preps, pulling her hand back and then remembering this golden aura around. She pulls out her last dagger and goes to throw it into order to attempt to see whether or not that works.
Yeah, spells don't go through it, right? It was just like...
Yeah.
Spells do not seem to go through this at all. Throws the dagger and it just kind of, in her weakened and bloodied state, it just slams against one of the effigies on the side and ting, 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 ting. Lands off on the stone, and she kind of falls down to one knee for a second and begins to hold the wound in her chest. Matilda, you are up. Matilda and Killian, you are both currently prone.
Oh. Rude.
Sorry. Here's what I'll say, roll fate dice.
You did, like, in lore, say that they magically stood up.
8 dice is just a d20.
Woo!
18, favorable. As you are bound into this new degree of power, Lavos raises his hand and just hold up by your tattoos, one by the arm and one by just below the throat. As it grows in power, you kind of are raised up. Matilda, yours almost looks like you're being prepared to be hanged, which I feel is a little bit apt. But as you are lifted and placed back on your feet, the two of you are no longer prone. I have gifted upon you 15 feet of movement. Congratulations.
Now, here's my question from like watching this yellow thing before. Do we know can spells go into there?
From what you have seen, spells seem to fizzle out if cast from outside of the radius.
Okay.
Even the moonbeam that was previously present, that kind of hovered above it, just slammed into the golden radius and dissipated.
We have yet to try a spell that spawns inside of the barrier, so that could also be doable. But it has to specifically spawn inside of it.
Yeah. And I don't think that's how the saw blades work. They have to move over there. So.
Yeah, they fly towards.
25. Oh, I see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my action. I'm gonna hold an Eldritch Blast for if the yellow barrier goes down.
Okay. Just like
then,
pulling this crackling energy out of the weave and holding it in your hands.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. And then I will end my turn.
Alrighty. And Killian, you are up.
All right. Yeah. So Killian is she able to see into this area?
From where you are currently?
Yeah.
If you can see it, I believe you can, yeah.
Okay. Then she is going to make like a swiping motion with her tools in her hand, and essentially create like a small pocket of air that just kind of shimmers, and she's gonna walk into it and appear next to the creature. She's casting Vortex Warp on herself.
Ooh.
Actually, just a quick clarification. The wording of Vortex Warp is you magically twist space around another creature you can see. That means I can't target myself, right?
Around another creature you can see, target must succeed on a charisma saving throw.
I was wondering if the another
that one's
I can't self-target.
Yeah, that one's tricky. I know there's a couple other spells that are like that, and usually they've been ruled to only target other people. Because usually it just says creatures if it's everyone, not another creature. I think it's intended to maybe not be able to warp yourself.
Makes sense.
I think that substantially weakens the spell a bit. So here's what I'm going to say. For now, I think this will maintain as a consistent ruling, but I will look into this for balancing. I think you can choose yourself, because personally I just think the spell is significantly cooler that way. For now, we will go with that way, and I'll see if that breaks a ton of things post that, but that seems like it's the way I'm probably going to keep it.
All right, then I guess, yeah, kaboom. Oh wait, I wasn't able to move. I was measuring.
Here's what I will say.
Measuring.
Well, measuring would give me like difficult terrain and like a bunch of other stuff. So
Yeah, you can turn it off. The little like hiking dude underneath the thing toggles a difficult terrain on and off.
Here's what I'll say. As you cast Vortex Warp on yourself, this just area of distorted space appears around you. You disappear, and you appear slamming into the side of this golden barrier and landing on the ground in front. And as you kind of sit there, I'll say you're traveling at 3,000 miles an hour. So you take 700d6. No, go ahead.
What?
You appear, your warp is halted by the barrier itself, and you appear on the ground in front, kind of now sitting almost half on this stone effigy.
All right. I'm going to free interaction with an object. I'm going to pull out the. Well, no, I have my. Did I still have my rifle in my hand when I went unconscious?
Yeah, that's totally
Okay.
fine.
All right, then yeah, I'll just prep the rifle. But that's all my actions. I'm not like readying attack or anything.
You pull out the rifle and prepare to fire. And as the creature, Lavos begins to stride forward, places a hand on Matilda's shoulder and one on Morrigan's shoulder. Says, I got no healing, but I can help you out of here if you like. Looks towards Morrigan. She's just like, I'm going to remain until the end of the fight. He's like, excellent, great. So I'm going to drag you back 15 feet, right about it.
I looked at Lavos. I'm like, please get her out of here.
As he like picks her up and begins to pull her. There's no need to attempt to contest this. She could not possibly succeed. But he just kind of begins to move her off to the side, and she's like, Matilda, we have to kill this thing.
I'm trying.
She nods and just continues. She gets pulled off to the side as Lavos just, all right, sorry, don't mean. Just gonna place you here, protecting you, not doing anything untoward. All right, Matilda.
Persnickety papa.
The two of you take this from here. And Vincent, you're up.
Okay.
Vincent takes his turn to say bye.
No, he's just like, well, you guys wouldn't know this, but he's just, no, he's not feeling too well, so he wanted to maybe take a step back. That doesn't mean he can't still try.
Oh yeah, that's just being funny.
That doesn't hit. 9.
9 does not hit.
Well, he's like, well, look, guys, and he'll walk back.
That would have been an insane shot. You take aim from hundreds of feet away through multiple corridors, through your friends and a broken window, as it flies in and just kind of lands off in the room off to the side. That would have been absolutely.
It's a new
mad.
bow. I'm learning. He stands there and ends his turn. And boy will go. He'll keep moving. Here, can you put Jojo on the ground here?
Just places Jojo down. You see the fur kind of lift almost with a mind of its own and place her over in the corner. It looks up towards you happily.
Vincent will look down. Good boy. Now go get them. And he'll take the 5 feet extra that he has.
It turns its attention back and takes a lunging strike as the camera pulls away. As the Fury Spawn finishes its meal, it turns and looks towards the open area, and you see a few new appendages appear on the wings.
Ew.
As it begins to grow out that slight bit further, and it... This need not go on any longer. I think we can come to an accord, don't you? I will grant upon you my boon. You may keep your book. I already have what it is that I need to grow a following. I will leave here. You will never see me again. Alternatively, I can grant you a bane, something to hinder your enemies. But we will leave safely and on good terms. I cannot lie. You can trust my words.
Can Vincent hear this?
Echoing through the chamber,
hall?
yes.
Can I
calling out
insight
towards
check
you.
him? Or passive insight?
With your passive insight, he does seem to be telling the truth. It doesn't seem like this creature has lied this whole time. as far as you can tell.
Hmm.
Actually, no, with your insight, you're certain of that. You are very insightful, and you are aware that this creature has not lied thus far.
Okay.
Jojo, you're good. Cultist continues to run, having noted that you guys are not taking chase after him. He rounds the corner and looks upon the Fury spawn and smiles. My lord, take me with you. It doesn't look his direction. On Morrigan's turn, she continues to be dragged, and Matilda, you are up.
Okay. So my held action fizzles out because the barrier didn't go down. Oh. 5, 10.
You are aware that there is an area of dark tile directly in front of you.
Can I go this way?
Yes.
15. 25. Okay. Yeah. I go there and I say, tell me more of this offer. I want the details.
The creature smiles and looks on towards you. You hear Morrigan on the inside say, fuck that! Kill it now, while we have the chance! It looks towards you and says, do not worry about your rash friend. I will leave. I will grant upon you a boon. You will bathe in the glory of the power I offer as a vestige of my tale. I've quite the bit. In time, I will grow, and you will live. Past this encounter between us as merely a fleeting chance.
And I haven't agreed to anything yet.
Oh, I know.
Okay, cool. I'm just making my way to the yellow barrier.
You continue to stride forward and around. It looks on towards you. I will need you to roll deception if you are just attempting to get closer, obscuring your motives.
Yes. Okay. Oh, Matilda, you can do it. You're my deceptive bean. Mama Malin Pom Pom taught you well. You can do this.
I felt like a song was brewing there. Mama Malin Pom Pom taught you well.
Oh, never mind. They didn't do a good job.
You continue to stride forward. The creature looks on towards you. Does not really act. Its face does not change, or what you can call a face upon this creature. And as you continue to move in, it does not seem to retaliate.
Okay.
Killian, you are up.
Killian's just like looking at Matilda like, you know, like we're fighting this thing, right? Like she's just like staring at you, like she's readying her gun. She's like getting ready to walk into the bubble to like shoot this thing. Like, are you trying to like tell her not to, or?
Killian, you may also roll insight if you wish.
Yeah, depending how bad my lie was very bad, so you could probably be like, Matilda's full of shit.
Okay, Killian.
Not very insightful though.
Canonically, exactly what you said.
Oh no.
All right. Well, Killian will take a step into the barrier, regardless, because she doesn't trust this thing, even though it hasn't lied. It goes from like not wanting to kill us to wanting to kill us to not wanting to kill us. But at the very least, she's going to test something. She is going to use her bonus action to cast Branding Smite on her rifle.
Oh.
So it's a bonus action, lasts for a minute, and the next time I hit a creature with a weapon attack, the thing happens.
Did you take a level in Paladin? What?
No, I get that from my artificer.
Yeah, artificers can use a lot of spells.
Okay, sorry.
Alrighty. You cast Branding Smite on your gun, and this divine radiance kind of pours over it for a brief moment. The ammo that's kind of just hovering above, waiting to load itself, that just appears out of the ether. Also, you see that light just coalesce across it, and awaits the next bullet to enter the chamber.
And my action is going to be readying my attack against this thing. If it seems like Matilda is gonna attack it, I guess. I'm not done fighting this thing, but I'm at least gonna wait until Matilda does a thing to see whether or not it's gonna happen.
As you enter into the creature's barrier, it looks towards you immediately, and kind of looks down towards your gun, and you see the eyes kind of rotate in the socket as it's just catching this distance between you and it. At the end of your turn, as you just prepare, finger over the trigger, waiting. Lavos continues to pull. See, gonna dash 30, bringing her over and around. And Morrigan at this point just kind of gives in, and Lavos just kind of picks her up and just continues to move. And he whispers something towards her, Vincent, that you managed to see as he was kind of walking through, but you could not hear. Vincent, you are up.
Vincent just looks over at Jojo. You know, you're kind of cute when you sleep, but I think this is a situation you'd probably want to be awake for. He'll kneel down, or like just squat down next to her. He'll take a piece of paper out of his lapel and like write a note and like stick it in her pocket or something, and then take his last potion out, pop the cork, and pour it in her mouth.
Is that a standard potion of healing?
Yes.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll that.
You pocketed a receipt, like a bill, in my pocket. Wow.
Amazing.
This is his last potion, man. This is a big deal.
The bubbling red potion begins to convey its power
9
upon
points
you,
of
Jojo.
healing.
8?
Or sorry, 8. I don't know
Okay.
why I read 9 there.
You heal 8 points as the energy begins to pour through your body, and you awaken. You find yourself in a different place than you were previously.
What's going on?
I think the others got it handled. Let's just chill here, okay? You can just rest there. Just don't move. There's a lot of death around you. So that was his bonus action, right? To give a potion
Yes.
to someone?
No, it is a potion. It is an action to use a potion against an unconscious creature.
Okay. Then Vincent will take a step forward and just kind of chill there. He wants to stay at a line of sight just in case, and then it'll be Boy's turn.
Also, just to say out loud, because I said that very definitively, in our game, it is an action to use a potion against an unconscious creature.
Yes. Question about jumping. Boy has quite a bit of strength. Could he jump this gap? What's the minimum he'd need?
If you move at least 10 feet on foot, you jump your strength score plus 3, I believe.
Okay.
So in this instance, Boy's strength score is
17?
16. So you would jump 19.
Okay.
If you, like right now, you've dashed. What is his movement speed? Or their movement speed?
I think it's
only 30. So with a dash, you'd be 60. You could start your jump now, but you don't have any movement left to cover the jump.
That's fine. He'll finish it on the next one. So he'll be like in midair right there.
I think you've moved all of your movement at current, though.
No, he was here. So if I move to here, that's only 45 feet.
Oh, okay. My bad. So in this instance, you can jump the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
No. Running, jumping over the black tiles and kind of landing off to the side. Lavos just sees this vision of a terrifying monstrosity pass by, like tongues wagging happily, tail just going absolutely mad, almost propelling it further in its jump. And as it lands on the other side, Lavos just gives a nod and continues walking.
He's in like killer mode now, so his tongues are retreated inside of his mouth. They're more snarling.
For flares up, and Spawn looks onwards towards you. Killian takes a step back so that you are no longer within the radius. And as it leans back, it looks towards you with your frustration and just kind of... One last warning. Brings its hand up and then holds. You can see it begin to incant a spell, and based on just these celestial runes that appear around it and begin to lift and encircle it, as it holds onto the spell, these sigils just compress into one above it, and you see light begin to pour down and just await the casting as it just continues holding the spell as a contingency. You don't know what it is. I don't think any of you have the capability of knowing what spell this is, but let me take a quick gander.
Just like TPK the spell.
No, I don't think you would know. Triple check. I don't want to say the spell and all of you are like, dude, we all can get that spell.
I think we have mechanics around that passive arcane versus their passive deception, I guess, if they...
Only for a certain... Only if the spell's within your spell list. So both of you can roll Arcana. Or what is your Arcana skill? What do you have in it, rather?
I'm not proficient, so it's just a +3.
Mine's
Okay.
a +2, but I'm not proficient.
So... Yeah, none of you would recognize even the spell level. But the creature prepares this spell, and as it hovers above it, and you all look towards, you're not sure if this is a damaging spell or anything else. Jojo. As the spotlight shifts over to you, you find yourself here.
Oh, you're just gonna get up and sort of look down at the hall and see what's going on over here. She can see a sliver of a fight going on.
Jojo, you may roll Arcana.
Lavos showed up while you were taking a nap, so he should be rounding the corner any second. Killian and Matilda seem to have pranked while you were
Wait,
out as
what?
well.
Hang on.
Yeah,
I don't.
like I said, we have it covered. I'm not too worried about them.
The 16 Arcana check.
16. You don't know why you recognize the spell. You are proficient in Arcana one way or the other, correct?
Yes, I am.
So, in your studies,
I thought
you
it
have...
had to be on your spell class list, though.
Not if you have proficiency in Arcana.
Oh.
If you, in your studies, you have seen spells of this nature in this level. You are unaware what spell it is specifically, but you recognize that the spell is 7th level, based on just the sigils within the air above this creature.
You sure they have it? Because that guy's supposed to cast a 7th level spell. Guys, watch out! That's a 7th level spell!
Carries down and through the chamber and echoes into your ears.
Well, I would hope they would have it, considering what was gifted to them.
Shit. I think as my action, I'm just gonna ready to dash towards them if I see, like, shit going bad with my 8 health.
Like a firefighter run into
Yeah.
a burning building.
The firefighter's also on fire and they're gonna run into
I have extra fire protection. I'm currently ablaze. The cultist runs in, all the way in as far as it can, and makes itself up to the Fury spawn, and then falls prone, and just moves into prayer as it moves into that radius of light that's pouring down. The creature looks down upon him, doesn't seem very worried, and then looks back towards you, awaiting your answer. Morrigan screams out, "End this!" Echoes through the chamber alongside Jojo's cries. Matilda, you are now up.
Oh god. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Am I now in the radius?
You are within the radius.
Okay.
No, you need to be one more left.
Okay. Boop.
Pop into the bubble, and it kind of just warps around you. The creature reaches the other hand out that is not currently casting the spell, and you see it begin to just spark. Take my hand and let the accord be struck.
And I do wisdom for ability checks on Wizzy. And then I'm going to hit them with the Eldritch Blast.
As soon as you cast that spell,
Yeah.
you reach forward and you begin to incant the sigils. Pulling back, the creature leans its hand forward and snaps. Regrettable. In an instant, it disappears.
My held action go off when I see
roll
that-
dexterity. This will be a contest.
Yeah, because it's
this
held
is-
action versus held action.
This is very, very interesting.
Oh, please break their concentration on this
No,
spell.
No, I don't think it's concentration.
They're holding
It
it.
is.
means
If
it's
you hold it, it's
concentration.
always concentration.
12 or 14.
Dex 14.
rolled a
Okay.
14.
Okay. I want you to succeed so bad. Okay. Goes to snap his fingers. You ready the gun? Let loose the shot. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ah!
I have a very interesting question about divine the brandishing smite or branding smite. Sorry, because I cast that spell within its circle. Is it going to affect it?
Here's the thing. Go ahead and shoot the attack roll.
Okay.
I think you seem to be aware what creature this is, which I think is pretty cool.
Ooh.
10. You
10.
take aim, shoot, the gun launches, the bullet passes through the barrier, and you see that radiance continue along with the bullet. But they reach their hand up and just smack the bullet away with the flat of their hand. You see, like, one of the eyes that had begun to materialize on the back of the hand just, like, pops and then just
Ew.
gets smoothed over with skin, and it looks over towards you, just... Regrettable indeed. Snaps his fingers, and you see the entire body disappear.
No! Damn it!
Teleport.
And in its place, a small bead of flesh appears that just erupts into this larger form, this just disgusting mass. A large open mouth with just plump lips moves into this area, and as these two just eyes form in a small slit of skin that opens, tentacles begin to lash out,
Whoa,
and this
no.
just floating mass stands before you. Matilda, you note now that this golden barrier that was around it has dissipated. Let me go ahead and get rid of that.
Is my hex still active?
Your hex is still active.
Oh no!
Actually, now your
It
hex
didn't
goes off,
teleport
basically.
away.
So, hex. Let me go ahead and add that. You said wisdom, yes?
Yes.
And the creature is hexed.
The creature in front of me?
Indeed, yes. It is the very
Oh.
same.
Oh, they're the same thing?
Indeed.
Oh no, ew.
It didn't zoom away. It turned into something new.
No! Ew! Is that a polymorph?
Polymorph's not a 7.
That's not 7th level spell.
Maybe that's all the spell slots he has. So.
But Matilda, you cast hex upon the creature. What do you do with the rest of your turn?
Oh. I was gonna attack it with Eldritch Blast.
And do those go off?
Do you do that?
Yeah, it would have.
Eldritch,
Well, that's what-
yeah, totally good.
That's what you would have done. But it's at disadvantage because now this thing's fucking huge. Great.
You get to roll again.
Yep.
You
Why?
have
Get
two
two
blasts
blasts now.
Mhm.
at
Oh,
level
okay.
5.
I think you're even surprised by this. You let loose one blast, poof, and then your hand continues to crackle, and then just poof, releases one last shot. Ooh, 26.
26 hit.
26 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, yay. And then.
Ooh. It added the additional hex as well, right? Nice.
Mhm.
Did.
Yeah, it already did.
16 damage. You blast this creature, and you see it just kind of reel backwards, and as the necrotic energy slams into the body, it just rips through and tears a hole directly through the creature that looks on towards you. That seems to have done a lot of damage. Creature's now bloodied.
What?
You have one last choice. You will die here. Or you can live as allies. The second mouth mimics the words. And is that the end of your turn, Matilda?
I think shit. And then that's the end of her turn.
Killian, you are up.
This guy's prone. Is he providing any kind of cover for the creature? Or is it big enough that it's just like, nah, it's just shoot?
Because he's prone, you're totally good.
Okay.
And it's also huge, yeah.
Killian, does like a reload, like her hands reload, but really all it is the somatic components to bind the divine energy into another bullet, because it's only until I hit, not until I attack.
Yeah, which is a good thing about that.
New bullet, who dis?
Yeah, yes.
And I'll target the creature and I'll shoot again.
I just love this McGermit. It sounds like it's Kermit the Frog rifle.
The 13 hit.
13 misses. You launch it, slams into the side of the tentacle, which tears through, and it just begins to form again.
I do it again. Extra attack, baby.
Yes! Yay!
Yeah.
I heard the yay. Oh man, 21 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right, so I definitely forgot to do the thing so that the branding smite would actually do something, but I'll just roll the dice normally. All right, so 6 damage from the shot, and then the branding smite is an additional 2d6 radiant, and the creature glows and can't become invisible until I break concentration, so like a minute later. Here, I think I can cast branding smite on myself.
I think it'll make you re-roll the whole roll, so it's probably better to just roll 2d6.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that the spell is on me, but I'm not sure if it is. Nonetheless, boom. 3 radiant.
An additional 3 radiant. As it passes through the creature's body, that radiant energy just burns ever so slightly across the wound as it just tears through, and the bullet just leaves a massive exit wound as it just reels back, and that tentacle kind of just flops off, being held on just by a little bit of sinew. Looks back towards you all and seems to almost have a glint in its eye.
Oh. What does the glint mean? Can we...
What's your passive insight? You do not know.
Oh.
Killian, the creature stands heinously bloodied.
It has rabies.
That is,
the glint is.
That's my whole dang turn now.
That is a rabies glint if I've ever seen one.
Don't want to move?
No, I'm good. I'm good here.
Lavos moves and uses the rest of his movement to shuffle Morrigan to the other side. Looking onward towards the fight.
Hey, Dad.
All right, Jojo, how you doing? You look pretty rough off.
Yeah, it's bad.
I ain't got no healing, sorry, but I can do this. And he points his finger towards you and then spins around and points his finger back towards the fight that's going on. Matilda. Lavos cries out for a brief moment and says, no, he's not going to do that.
Oh. He's like, who's my favorite child? Not Matilda.
He's in his mind palace and he's going through scenarios in real time and rewinding it.
It kind of sounds like they chose the more violent route, which is I'm not opposed to.
Vincent, what is your passive perception? Jojo, what is also your passive perception?
16.
Low, I think mine's 12.
12? Okay. Lavos points his finger towards you guys. He's going to choose 3. And yeah, why not? Jojo, he can see you currently. The 3 of you are blessed.
Oh.
Yay! Hashtag blessed.
I'm blessed too? Oh!
It's a very
3 of you are
far range
blessed.
blessed.
Lavos has various different abilities, of which I'm sitting here being like, some of these are very cool, but also could potentially cause you guys a lot of problems, which I do not want to cause issues of.
Adrian's our de facto dad. He doesn't want to hurt us.
You do take note of that, Vincent, that this guy's range for spells seems to be massive.
Yeah. He's lousy with range.
Vincent will see like this weird glowing light over. He'll take a step out to just assess the area. Yes, they did take the violent route. Also, Jojo love, by the time you reach them, the fight will probably be over and you'll just put yourself in mortal danger again and fall over for the 5th time today. So please just stay here probably, but
I can throw javelins or something. I've got like 2 left.
I guess that works. And he'll take his hand will light with fire now, noticing the barriers down, and he'll huck it.
I would love for this fire, like, as much as I want Matilda to kill this thing, the fact that Vince is just like nonchalant, fireball, and it dies, very on brand.
It's quite the range. Are you distance casting this?
No, the range is 120.
It's dude, I was measuring with difficult terrain. It's 140 feet from you currently, so this would be a disadvantage.
I will. No, you just can't cast it. I'll step up a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
I must have measured wrong.
Alrighty, you are now at range as you just. The length of the firebolt is actually kind of comical as it just continues down past your view. Lavos kind of ducks and attempts to get out of the way. He will use his reaction for that. Morrigan will also use her reaction to attempt to get out of the way. Does Dog use his reaction to kind of flatten?
Sure. He doesn't really have one.
Dog flattens. Killian and the cultist. The cultist is not in the way, Killian. Do you use your reaction to get down?
Yeah, I will.
Will it affect the hit? Because he didn't roll very high.
It'll have +2 to its AC. Oh, I see. 12 you throw the firebolt, it lobs forward and continues to fly and just dashes against the creature's body as everyone ducks down to the ground.
You know, slimy huts of meat aren't really my thing, so.
And then you stride backwards.
Yeah, I'll just take a step back. Bonus action. Vincent will just like shut down the hallway towards the group. You guys are doing lovely. Just try not to die, okay? And then he'll end his turn. And Boy will go. He doesn't have any bardic inspirations. He just felt like saying that.
Okay. Sure.
So Boy's going to try and leap over these things, if it's possible.
With
the dart trap and this thing.
Well, they're not dart traps. That's just the name of the macro I made. But with the movement that you have, you can absolutely move 10 feet before having to jump that. So just leaping with vicious precision, landing atop this altar, you stare forward towards the fight as Boy enters the fray.
And he will end his turn. That is all of his movement.
Alrighty. The creature looks down towards the one of you, Matilda. Shuffles over 5 feet as the cultist like lurches forward. No. And it just leans back and you see its mouth open and it goes to take 2 chomps against you.
No, I don't like it. Ew. I don't want to get bored. Stop it.
First one is a 23 to
You
hit.
choose violence. Violence chooses you.
The second is an 18 to hit. You take a grand total of 19 points of piercing damage as it just chomps down twice quickly against your body. As you are hit, the tentacles move in and begin to encircle you and just pull you into the mouth, and you are swallowed.
My God!
You are blinded and
You got
restrained.
bored.
Sorry about that.
Oh, Adrian.
I do apologize twice. One preemptively and one post. At the beginning of your turn, as the acid in this creature's body begins to move in,
Oh my God.
fizzle and sizzle, you're going to take a little bit of damage. Jojo, you are up.
Jojo.
They seem to have this covered.
They seem to have it covered.
You couldn't see that. You could only see a part of the monster up there.
Yeah. I see
Oh, no,
like the
she's
butt.
eating.
I see the butt of a monster. And I don't know much about monsters. What in my studies, what kind of studying is like monster knowledge?
Oh, various different types. In this case, if you're attempting to discern what you remember and scouring through your memory, that would be an action to roll a religion check.
Religion check. Aye. That is what I will do. Religion's intelligence. Normal.
Normal.
Oh,
With a natural
lucky,
20 for a
lucky.
22.
I'm gonna move
this-
up here.
This creature is referred to itself as a fury spawn, but it has also tied itself in history to this fury Zemayatel, of which you guys have already done some research via Matilda's book. As you dig into your head, this creature seems to be some kind of like an ember to the flame of another larger creature's power. It also seems to be desirous of more power, and almost in some way attempts to like usurp its own creator. This creature is a vestige. It is not even necessarily... It was not a creature before this ritual that seems to have been performed. As far as you know, this creature is just a fragment of the power of Zemayatel.
Do I think that there might be a way to break... I mean, the ritual that created it already happened. Is there a way to, I guess, put out the ember? It's just called an ember, right?
You could call it what you want. That's not like an official name or anything. But,
okay.
It's just a bit of wordplay for you there. But as you try and fixate on the spell, thinking about the spell that occurred and just the last remnants of this ritual that took like probably close to a minute to complete, judging by when you arrived to when you guys actually got down here, you ascertain that what's been done has been done. And this creature is not being bound here, but the spell that summoned it is already finished.
Okay. They're not really very helpful in this fight, this knowledge so far.
It's helpful to know that you can't do it. Right? Because now you guys aren't going to search for it.
We're not going to waste our turns.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. That's great. I'll tell this to Vincent, and if he feels like it's necessary, he can like message the others or something. And none of this is helpful. We can't undo it.
Well, they seem to
gotta
be
kill it.
quite... I think their version of undoing it is to splatter his brains all over the floor.
And that might be the only way.
Well, we're currently doing that, so I'll make sure to enforce that. Here, also, and Vincent will point to the bow on his back. This might get a little bit more range than your long sticks there.
Oh. I'm really shit with these, though. Oh. She'll take it. But, I mean...
Be careful with it. It's a lone. It's a loner.
Is it a short bow?
It's the short bow of
warning.
Warning.
What's the range?
80 over 320.
Oh,
so
that is...
you can hit it from here. It would just be a disadvantage. Get it a little closer, and then 80 would be normal.
Cool. Yeah, I will end my turn.
I have thrown one of those in your inventory, so that is in there now.
Thank you.
And Morrigan practically falls unconscious, but she's continuing to move astride Lavos' command. Lavos would also have actually moved with her on his turn. So
Dear, he'll point to Lavos. Do you want me to take her? And I'll put his arms out. I can hold her while you go help, everyone else.
He hands her to you, and then with the last 5 feet of movement, shuffles back. And Matilda, it is your turn.
Okay. She's pretty pissed that she just got swallowed. This fucking sucks.
Oh, does she take acid at the beginning of her turn?
At the beginning of your turn, you do take acid damage.
Okay. How much acid damage?
You take 7 points of acid damage.
Fuck me. Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me...
Succeed in the concentration.
Cool. I am going to, as a bonus action, use all of my healing lights. So, here we go.
New level, but some things never change.
Yeah.
I think that added an extra one, so you should have 6 of them now instead of 5.
Yeah, hold on.
You can only spend 4 once.
Oh yeah, you can only spend up to your charisma
That's
modifier.
fine. 3d6. No, hold on, that's 2. Yeah, 3d6. There.
For any of those below the minimum, yes, one of them was. So you heal 14 hit points.
Okay. And even though I can't see. And it's short range. I'm fucking Eldritch blasting inside this guy.
Do you need to be able to see Eldritch Blast?
I don't
No.
think so.
Nope, that's why I was like, fuck you. Get fucked.
Most excellent. You just kind of lean back and just boom, boom. I would say you have advantage on this attack roll. You are within the creature.
Well, then she'd have disadvantage for being blind.
Yeah, so it's a straight roll.
And in melee.
I mean, the point of disadvantage in melee, because rules is intended, is that it's very easy to interrupt a ranged attack in melee. I don't know what this creature can do to interrupt a ranged attack from within its own stomach.
Well, its gut is like churning her around. She might have difficulty forming the spell components.
I'm just going to say straight roll.
Normal. Okay, first Ray. Is it 18 hits?
18 hits. Go ahead and roll the second hit, and then we'll do damage on both.
Okay. All right, it doesn't like that. Hold on.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Just don't tell me. Oh man, lame.
You get to add in D6 to that as well, because it's hexed.
For Hex, yeah.
Okay, hold on. D6.
+4, 9 points of damage. So.
And then, hold on, and then I attack. Normal. This is a 15. Or hold on.
15 also hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And plus a D6.
Okay, so that was 6. As you blast this creature from within, slamming through with this just vicious blows of force and this necrotic damage bearing down upon it, it sits back and it's just reeling. As it leans back, it just opens its mouth and you are immediately just ejected from it. You kind of land off on the ground to the side of it and look on towards as the creature just begins to back up, looking towards this damage that's being dealt to it. It just is searching for any instance of escape, and then that glint in its eye returns. Killian, you are up.
All right. Just gonna keep shooting it, man. Target. Just lock and load. 2 shots.
Yee.
Do it.
Oh,
Yes.
20 hits.
Oops.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and do Fury of the Small on this one for an extra 5 damage.
19 points of damage. You take aim, making yourself as wonderfully small as possible, and looking up towards this monstrous creature, just take a shot. Low shot pierces through the side of the cheek, out the back of the head as the entire body fizzles away into this radiant flame, and all that remains is the creature that you had seen previously. As it returns to its position, it looks down towards you. No, this is not how this was supposed to be. I shall not have hunted. You cannot do this. As it's just shuffling between languages in its own mind. Your second attack?
After having used Fury of the Small and seeing it like returns, Killian just shouts enough talk in Goblin and shoots again.
Yeah. Infinity and death. So just die.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Kill it, kill it, kill it.
Well, damage.
12 damage.
Did you kill it?
Blasts the creature in the side of the neck, pours through, and it just reaches up and holds onto its own hand, tearing the hand off at the wrist, and then the hand kind of begins to just graft itself over the wound, now there as a permanent fixture of its neck, and it looks on towards you all. Opens its mouth to speak. I can offer you power. Blood begins to pour down this pale blue as it just seems on its absolute last legs. But still lives.
I will use my movement to just step on in to the circle. And I realize that's a hurdy square, but Killian doesn't care.
Are these like threats and stuff echoing through the halls?
Yes. You take 7 points of necrotic damage. Striding forward, that pain shoots through your body, and you just kind of like wince through it as you move in. The creature seems incredibly intimidated. And Morrigan seemingly pacified. Lavos begins to run. He also jumps. Just begins to dash.
Nice.
He's just going to jump on that black square.
Doesn't care. Oh, 2 black squares.
Ooh.
He ran through. He jumped over the first one and landed on the second. I guess he actually doesn't need to. He just wait here. As he looks onwards towards all of this happening, he just sits down on the edge of the window, crosses his legs, and then reaches his hand up. Just begins to twiddle his fingers, almost like laughably, and then he brings his fingers together as though to snap. And now, Vincent, you are up.
I don't know what kind of sounds like they have this. Yeah, let me step out of the way. You can feel free to damsel in distress if you wish. Vincent will sit in the middle of the room with Morgan in his arms and just sit down on the ground. Start, like, put her head on his lap, and he'll just stay there kind of comforting her like he does his other consorts. And he'll end his turn. And Boy will go. Boy, seeing this thing on its last legs and, like, you know, it was ordered to run over and deal with things. It's just, let's see here. Can it just take a lunging jump at it? Because it's standing on top of the statue. He just wants to jump on top of it.
Oh, you want to jump on the creature?
Yeah.
I like it. You run forward, you jump on top. It's not large, so you can't like land on its space, but you can attempt to like grapple onto it.
Yeah, I pictured he jumps down and the shadow thing like wraps around him and like razors him as he falls down, and he'll do an attack as well. And, like, I guess land here.
Go ahead and chomp. Yeah, let me delete that cultist.
Doesn't get
dusted
by like going into the circle, does he?
No, as the creature runs through and jumps in, it passes through the warbling energy.
Almost a net 20. 23 to hit.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. I have one question about Boy. Is its attacks considered magical? There's nothing here I can see that states that its attacks would be magical.
Okay, we can just have them not be then.
So in this instance, as Boy reaches forward, begins to encircle the creature and chomps down, begins to bite onto it, and each of the mouths continue to grapple. Your bite does grapple, yes?
Yeah, he needs to roll a strength saving throw. DC is 14.
Latches on, spins around, begins to just clutch down, and the entire body of the creature distorts. You can see now, feel that just jelly-like exterior and just no bones held in place. So not grappled, but prone?
Prone, yeah.
Okay. Slamming it down into the ground, and Boy shifts back into his normal form.
I picture him just standing over this thing and then looking up and being like, did I do good? Did I do good? And then looking down and going in angry mode again.
I like that. At the end of your turn, it is the creature's turn. Raises a hand, clutches it down, places that hand down on the ground, and you see this golden sigil appear as it begins to spin, lock itself in place. Lavos finishes that snap, casts Counterspell.
Nice.
Oh.
As the creature attempts to teleport away, creating a sigil upon the ground, it solidifies, dissipates. With its bonus action,
It dies.
turns its attention towards you and Killian. lets loose just one last scream of frustration and aggression in order to just take out that one last chunk.
Does it hit the prone cultist?
It does, yeah, it's a cone. So,
Oh, poor guy. He's had such a bad day.
I need the both of you to make a...
I think it was dex save?
This one is a Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
Okay.
22.
22, you succeed. 12.
Oh, yeah, great. 12.
Matilda, that does not succeed.
Oh, no.
Killian, you take 7 points of thunder damage. Matilda, you take 14.
Okay.
Matilda, you are blasted back, but you basically land against Killian, and the both of you brace and you remain in position. Killian, you manage to maintain firm hold of the ground beneath you, maintaining your concentration on your spell, the radiant energy preparing to rip through. Actually, that's... Your blast already went through with the radiant, didn't it?
Yeah, it just makes it so this person can't go invisible for the rest of the duration.
Yeah, they're glowing.
And at the end of their turn, they slam into the ground, looking forward. Matilda, are you conscious?
Yep.
The blast tears through your body, this thunder damage, and you just open your eyes and look back down towards the creature. And all motivation leaves their face. As their body slumps down, you see the cultist looks on towards them and just begins to shuffle forward in just reverence for a brief moment, and then just... You're killing it! He looks up towards you, Matilda, Killian, and Jojo, you are up.
God, that guy's slow. Jojo, looks like she's about to, head towards where the fighting is, and then she, looks and she sort of sees Dad just sitting there, looking real calm, and she looks back and sees these two very bloody people in this room, and she's like, shit, and so she puts away the javelin and just throws the bow over her shoulder and, takes out her Shark-Tooth sword, ready to defend us three bloody folk. If anything should come, she looks up the ladder to see if anything's about to jump down, and checks for dangers in the area.
More falling knights.
As you look up the ladder, you do see that there's these little plant creatures. One eye blinks one over the other, and as you spot them, they're just here. They move back out of the way.
Plant creatures?
Yeah, just these strange vine-like creatures.
From the pots that were
you
in the
see little sprouting leaves.
Cool.
And the cultist now shuffles in 5 feet towards the creature and places their hand around them and says, "Let me be a part of your power, please. Allow me this one thing." Fierce Bond looks over towards them for a brief moment. Just places a hand on their head. Just pushes them away.
Oh. I just wanted them to crush it.
Pathetic. You are not worthy. Looks towards Matilda. Says, "But you were a shame." Morgan closes her eyes on your lap, Vincent. Looks over towards Jojo and sees her taking that stance. And from below, just you strike this intimidating figure on the other side, holding that Shark-Tooth sword at the ready. And then she just closes her eyes and attempts to take a much-needed rest.
We got this covered.
Matilda, as the creature looks up towards you, currently prone, standing in front of you, and just looks at your mercy.
So if you Eldritch Blast point blank, you will be neutral instead of at disadvantage because it is prone.
Yeah, I am going to do 2 healing lights, because ow. And then I'll use 2, and then 1. What? Not my poisoner's kit. No, thank you.
I
That's the
poison
opposite of
myself.
what I need. Yeah.
I take out my poisoner's kit and I drink my wyvern blood poison.
So that one is below the medium, right? The first one?
Yeah, so you would
that's-
recover 6 total.
6, okay. And then okay. And then I will rear up I will Eldritch Blast them, and I'll say to them, be like, this is what happens when you follow false prophets. And I attack them and smoosh them in the face. Does 27 hit?
27 hits.
Just 27 hit.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll damage.
12.
Tell me what happens.
Like I say that this is what happens when you follow false prophets, and I like Eldritch Blast, and it whatever Smayatel, it's just like a weird, creepy like angel energy, and it like smooshes them in the head, and their head's just like gone after. Like it's just like it implodes, like their face is like sunken in. It's gross.
As it just reels backwards and begins to fall. Its mouth kind of like the wound on its neck opens up and crosses into a new mouth. It just manages to usher out the words. On your wings I return. You have won this time. Fury. Slams into the ground. You see the entire body just begin to melt into nothing but just bits of flesh, and as it does so, you see just bones, remains of at least a dozen humanoids that just sit there as the entire flesh melts away into a small pool. And as the cultist just leans down, no! Leaning through into the liquid and just siphoning through it, you see them just slam into the ground and just hold themselves there for a moment, and then look up towards you and say, this world holds no beauty anymore.
Boy's gonna start growling at him.
I agree. I have to keep looking at you. And I turn away from them and I start looking for the thing that it ate that Smayatel was like telling me to find.
As you begin to just siphon through the pieces, you find that small skeletal lizard grafted with sparrow's wings, and as you pull it open, you feel immediately your book almost like this just pull from one piece to the next.
I open my book.
You try to open your book, but it remains shut fast. Oh. And as slowly you feel that pull continue to just like lift one piece to the next, the head of the lizard like latches onto the top left corner of the spine of the book, and one piece at a time, the spine forms into the spine of the book itself. The wings wrap around and lock onto the outer corner of the book, forming these just two wings that spiral down and encircle the celestial writing atop the book's cover. And as it does so, the entire thing just from one side to the other is gilded in gold. The mouth of the lizard itself, the teeth kind of form over top and then latch down, and it just locks itself completely in place as the book receives a new piece to its cover. The wind around you, Matilda, lifts up and you see feathers dart out, falling to the ground, and as soon as they hit the ground, just these light tones echo out, and in your voice you hear, very, very good. As the creature finally dissipates, and you look onwards towards the light wind pouring around you, the just desiccation and death that completely surrounds this tomb, you hear something, all of you. From beneath this raised platform where you currently stand, you hear psh, and oh fuck, no. As two individuals, you hear the footsteps begin to aggressively and desperately flee. You see light coming from beneath, and slowly a figure begins to appear before you. An angelic figure stands with wings blazing, and as it looks down towards the lot of you, it just gives a single nod, disappears in a puff of flame. You see chains around its neck that just fall off as it disappears and land on the ground in front of you.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said that we all saw this, so like each of us got our own angel that we saw?
No. Down the way in the center of this. So basically, like here.
Oh,
is where all of this occurred. Yeah, on
so
the far
saw, like,
left side.
The back of it from 100 feet away.
Yes.
Okay.
Although the flaming light that was emitted from this creature's blazing wings kind of filled the entire area. And then you hear those footsteps that were downstairs attempting to flee. You just hear... And then 2 bodies hitting the floor.
Ooh.
But it sounded like they were, like the angel was trapped and imprisoned by these cultists, and then it got away now.
You don't need to roll investigation. That seems to be exactly what had occurred.
Where were these cultists that just hit the floor? Where?
All of this happened at a floor beneath you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have a question about...
Yes.
I know I'm far away, but Vincent's passive perception's pretty high. Did the angel look similar to the angel he saw fly overhead when we were out in the district this way, when we were heading to the farmhouse?
No. You guys ascertained that was... This was like a flaming effigy and like an angelic figure, a feminine figure that stood wearing this just kind of like almost plate armor, burning wings. That thing that you had seen previously was just a shadow that passed over and was just massive. The wind it carried with it alone was enough to just almost knock the carriage you were riding in off course. Whatever that thing was, significantly more powerful than this thing.
It's Ho-Oh in the first episode of Pokemon.
Yeah, and then the guy who is the professor of all Pokemon research was like, "That didn't happen. You're crazy. Go away, kid." So,
anyway,
as we look onwards
D&D world
towards this epic angelic creature that just gave you a knowing nod of approval and disappeared. The cultist in front of you grovels upon the ground in the loss of its angelic fury, and you all find yourself now here in this empty chamber.
Hey, Jojo, do you want to take Morgan? I'm going to have difficulties taking her up this ladder.
Sure. We heard some people down below, though. Do we think the others are going to want to check out what was down there?
Yeah. And
also, watch out. There's those little root creatures came out of those pots. They're up there, so...
Thank you. I'll keep an eye out for them. He'll take his book out of his bag, and with his new pen that he got off of Shiana, he's going to start itemizing stuff as he walks down the hallways.
Yeah, Jojo will take Morgan
into
like a bridal style. Harry.
As you go to lift Morgan, she's like, I can do it myself. And then you pick her up, and then she just kind of just leans her head back and just begins to rest. Lavos jumps down from the little ledge and moves up towards the two of you and places his hand on your shoulders.
As he, like, pretty much before that happens, Killian is just kind of still in this like very intense, like still very much in like combat mode. And what she would like to do is flip her rifle around in her hands and stroll up to this cultist and just bat swing, hit him in the face as he's prone.
Okay, here's what I'll say.
That's like a improvised weapon attack or whatever that happens to be, but that's what she's doing.
In this instance, if you hit, go ahead and roll an improvised attack. It'll be at advantage because you're attacking with a melee. They are prone. If you hit, they are down. There is not much hit points within this individual.
No proficiency?
No.
Okay.
D20 plus strength or dex.
Well, it's a magical item, which means I would get int added to it.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I just realized he's prone, so I would have advantage.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll another d20. So that would have been 9.
You lean back. You slam the butt of your rifle into the back of into the temple of the cultist's head, and they just fall down into the white goo that was their previous god. And they just lay there now unconscious. A slight bleeding wound.
I'd spit on them.
Ooh. They remain.
Good call, Killian. Good call. Lavos, we heard some people go unconscious, I think, or something happened downstairs. I want to make sure they're not Morgan's brother.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, one moment. And he strides over here. Just kind of like leans over the outer edge and looks down. Well, There's lots of blood down there, so we might want to take. Maybe we just don't mention it. No, we should probably look, right?
No, there was 2 people that were alive that went unconscious recently.
Looks down again. If you say so.
Oh.
Lavos just hops over and just kind of begins to fall.
I'm pretty sure I heard a sploosh. I think they're dead as well. You see Vincent's been like patrolling the halls with his book out. He's itemizing everything he sees. And then Boy comes over and he'll pass him a backpack and he's starting to put all the shit in the backpack. And Boy's holding it.
So if you guys are attempting to traverse to the downstairs, are you...
I'm waiting.
You are taking a full and thorough investigation of this area?
Vincent is of this area.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll perception.
$24.
You do not find any additional or hidden pathways within the area. This entire chapel seems to be built in such a way that it encompasses this just central chamber that is lifted above this below one. But as you glance down through the same area where Lavos had gone down, and looking down at the chamber below, you can see some kind of like vats of this just green energy that is now bubbling away aggressively into steam that just dissipates. You see some very thin altars. You see a large creature that seems to be just stitched together remains of other fallen people that is just now on the ground and is just unconscious. And angelic statues. You see a large central stone that once held this just fizzling magic circle that has now just been burned completely through and is just black. But that is all in the chamber below you.
Vincent will send a message to Lavos. There's a lot of things down there. But you know what we like. If there's any gold or jewels or magic items, make sure you bring them back up with you.
Yeah, when he was down there, he just kind of gives a nod without giving any... He just gives you a mental nod.
Well, he sent a message, so you can just be like, yeah.
He just whispers a mental nod. And then as he returns up, he looks onward towards all of you and says... yeah, I don't think that any of them were related to Morrigan. A couple of them are, well, they don't seem... Unless a brother's mid-50s, early 60s.
Didn't really get that vibe, no.
And no goblins down there either?
Goblins. He looks over to Killian. Is that where you... Oh. No, I'm sorry. At least not in that chamber. I circled through and just kind of gave it a little bit of a look about.
It's probably a better thing. They'd be dead if they were here, so...
Sorry, Killian.
What things do we need to collect to take to court? Because...
What do you mean?
Well, the god who's part of this district is going to be in a lot of trouble if this comes to light. So either they're going to be giving us a lot of favors, or they're going to be in big trouble if something like this is happening in their district without them being aware of it.
It's going to be very hard to prove. This part of the district is untamed lands. Although they might have some sort of sway, you know, just as every ant in our district, we don't keep track of.
No, that's fair, but the fact that they're collecting people in their district to bring here to be sacrificed and sewn into weird creatures, not good. Not good for your image.
We could bring this up to a lot of people, actually. We could bring this up in Shontia, which I don't advise. Actually, that's a bad idea. She's powerful, both in people and clout. We could bring this up to Akadi. We could bring this up to...
This is Akadi's district, is it not?
It is, but the exterior of the city is also the domain of both Odin and Bahamut. They protect the northern side of the city with their armies and such, so they're also somewhat responsible, if not more so.
I am totally fine bringing this to the guild and explaining what happened, but I don't know if we should start blaming people without evidence.
Well,
No
let's
offense,
not.
But what I've seen of the gods is they don't necessarily keep track of these
Well, then
things.
let's not treat it as like a blame game and just be like, "Hey, we did you a favor."
Yeah, for sure.
At the very least, if anyone tries to make noise about Lavos being here and using his powers.
Well,
Who
it's
would
not like
we have
we're
a
in the bad
problem
books
with?
of Akati. I'm sure she'll understand.
It'd be
You,
a Cotty.
When you guys mention that, I think, Vincent, your passive perception is the only one that, or your passive insight is the only one that picks up on the fact that Lavos is like, we should probably move on from this location.
You should probably move on from this location.
No, probably all of us.
Well, I need to itemize, so give me another 5 minutes, okay?
I do
Pulls
want
out
to
a pocket
rifle.
watch and looks at it.
There's
I
some
do
stuff
wanna-
upstairs we need to grab as well.
I do want to rifle through the pockets of the cultist and like check their face and make sure you know who they are, and if they have any cool shit. Not cool shit, but just they got shit on them.
Yeah, that's what Vincent was doing the whole. So like the checking all the stuff and putting in a bag that dog has.
Matilda, as you are rifling through, and Vincent, you are scouring through all of the people and doing various different searches of the entire area. There's quite a few things that actually appear before you here. You guys have as you take the time to collect everything and place it down, and Lavos kind of sits there just like looking around nervously. You receive first. As you are reaching down for the spine of the creature and you place it down upon your book, it locks into place. And then scouring around, you did not see this before, but as the remains dissipate and the like skin that was once this creature is completely now dissolved into the stone, you just see an outline of moisture where it once was. There also sits a small black amulet that almost seems to be calling out to you, Matilda. Aside from that, Vincent, in your searches, you find 2 items that might be of interest. You find a rope that is visibly enchanted. You find a ring that you actually recognize from previously in the Valentine Manor, the Ring of Mind Shielding, as it had been explained to you. But Jojo, in the time that passes, down from the rope, or the ladder rather, you see those vine creatures kind of tentatively move down. And as you kind of like bring, do you bring Morrigan up or do you stay down here now?
Jojo had brought Morrigan with her to where she currently is on the map, which is more like in that middle foyer.
Okay. Down the ladder, you see 3 of these little creatures that look like shrubs of vine kind of moving forward. And as they catch your eye, once again, they kind of just dart behind walls and then just peek out looking towards you and then back in behind the walls again. They seem to be fixated on you.
Me specifically.
You specifically.
Oh no.
But aside from that, let me go ahead and open up my document.
Gold and anything of worth like rings and stuff on the cultists, I would also want to take.
I am now searching.
Plant babies.
So
Yeah, have they, what's the thing when a bird sees someone for the first time?
Imprint.
They imprinted on Jojo.
So Matilda, you receive an amulet. Vincent, you find a particular cloak that looks relatively interesting. The cloak seems to be enchanted as well.
Yeah, that was the one on the main cultist dude.
You find another. You find 1,200 gold pieces worth of trinkets. Golden trinkets such as jewelry and various different effigies of, like failed effigies. It almost seems like, because they all have these just strange, misshapen forms.
Is that on top of the ones that we found before?
Yes.
Okay.
So of the 700 gold piece worth of trinkets, you find another 1,200 gold piece worth of basically jewelry and effigies. You find on these cultists' bodies one thing that is actually somewhat interesting. In the ones who had previously been utilizing that golden flame, you find a different holy symbol than the one that they wear of Zemayatel. You find a holy symbol of one that looks strikingly similar to the Altician holy symbol of a bladed sun, but it almost seems older, antiquated. It is this just burning, aggressive golden sun. and it sits on this rounded, just rounded amulet. You find 3 of those. Holy symbol of a golden sun.
Okay. I just put old Beltisha holy symbol, but it's fine. We'll know what it means. Anything else or just that?
You find also...
Do we find any evidence of Morgan's brother? That's what Matilda would be mostly looking for.
Roll investigation. There's one more thing. On the main cultist, you find a particularly gnarled-looking wand that he had previously only used once in the encounter.
Damn it.
As you investigate the area, you do not find anything that portends in this particular location to any other location or groups. The people that were here seemed to be here only temporarily, utilizing this place for this kind of dark ritual or celestial ritual to summon this abomination, as far as you can tell.
I think after scouting the area and stuff, Vincent will snap his book shut, put it back in his lapel. Well, good to leave if you guys are.
When I pick up this amulet, do I like do I go unconscious or?
You pick it up. It almost like rings out at your touch, and you hold it. But you don't fall unconscious or anything of the like. As you hold it in your hand, it just feels pretty good.
Oh, does it have like a 1,000-fold tone in it, or is it just like ringing out with a different tone?
That's something that you would not be able to know unless you're attempting to like read the thoughts of a creature.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's basically the 1,000-fold tone is the creature's thoughts. It's almost like a hive mind that connects them to the dungeon.
I understand. Okay.
We can get Killian to have a look at this. It'd take too long if we start going through right now.
Lavos is like, that's a good idea. Yep. Yeah, we should get back to the house. He begins to shear you guys.
Guys,
Jojo.
there's some shy plants that like me, I think. What do we know about these plants before? We knew that they were awakened plants that were being fed these vials. What do we know about the vials so far? There was like the yellow ones that would like make you like crusty eyed.
The yellow ones that you had previously seen given to humans, and
there was a red one.
That was it, I believe. There was a red one, and there was a yellow one. I don't think you had ever seen the red one used. The yellow one seems to induce some kind of just strange, almost like a coma state on humans, and it puts them into this just daze, eventually kind of growing in the inside of their body and forming crystals.
I guess, can I insight these plants to see if they're trying to hurt me or if they're imprinted like baby birds?
They do not. You can immediately see that they are in no way portraying any kind of hostility. And as they're kind of just curiously looking towards you, they're just staring intently. And as every time you look, they just move away like shy kittens.
Okay.
Well, you can feel free to take them if you can, Jojo.
Okay.
I kind of want to go upstairs and just make sure that elf man didn't bring in reinforcements.
Yeah, sure.
More to deal with. As we're like exiting this area, Vincent will note anything on the way out as well, and take it if it looks valuable.
If I am able, Matilda wanted to take a vial of the red stuff and a vial of the yellow stuff if I'm able to. If not, that's okay, but I just wanted to say that she would have wanted to.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there is a stash of any of it here.
Was there anything
There were 2 vials at the base of each of the shrubs, but they were blasted away by gust and blown across the wall.
Cool, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's a stash anywhere else.
This guy for like
the prisoner
judgment or something. Sorry, I didn't hear your response.
I'm fine if you want to bring him. I just don't know where we're going to put him.
We got a dungeon. Sort of.
Same room we put Jaeger in.
Yeah.
Can stick him in there for now and see what the guild wants to do with him.
Are we going to the guild or specifically one of the gods?
I would personally report this to the guild. If you go to Akadi, it's hard to get an audience with a god, but they might put us on some sort of waiting list.
As you say the name, Akadi,
Oh.
Lavos is like, all right, we should, and you just hear. In the center of the chamber, you see a woman standing in pale green, kind of flowing clothing, hands crossed. Green hair kind of like just pulls down into a single braid at the, like, ending at the mid-back, and with these eyes of just teal, bright teal, she begins to look around.
Oh, hello there.
You're welcome.
She doesn't speak. She looks towards Lavos, and he's like, hello, my name's Kelly. That's not true. Listen, let's take this outside. And he walks forward and places his hand on her shoulder. And then she just looks towards you all, and she opens her mouth, so to speak, and then closes it aggressively again. As he's like, thank you. All right. And then the two of them just, as he places his hand on her shoulder, the two of them
Can I insight
disappear
check?
in a tornado.
Was she about to attack us, or was she just going to is my passive insight, or can I insight what was going on?
I
there?
don't think it would be insight. You can. She didn't seem to show any hostility in her movements or her body language, but you can roll investigation if you wish.
Yeah, it was
Were they
like when
X's?
Lavos put his hand on her, she held back what she was going to say. I didn't know if that would be insight or not.
I want you to. Matilda said you're welcome. And she wants to know how that was
Ooh, nat
taken.
20. 24.
The to insight how your welcome was taken would have been insight.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well, never mind. I'll roll insight then. Where is insight? This is going to go very poorly. Yep. It was taken very well.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here being like, the previous roll was good, but it does feel more correct for Matilda to just have no insight.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Most excellent. Vincent, it seems like she was holding back her voice not for any kind of like frustration or to attack you guys, but almost like sparing you guys the weight of her voice. And she opened her mouth to speak, and then she just stopped. Even Lavos was like, thank you. You ascertain, like, her words might kill you.
Ooh.
So as the two of them disappear,
a
you guys
piece
are
of
now,
paper.
you guys are left in this chamber.
Well, let's head out. And Vincent will do what he needs to do on the way out, itemizing stuff. And there's also that car outside. Do we want to bring it back in and get the people looked after, or leave it for Akadi to deal with?
See if it's actually there. They could have like taken it while we were in here.
Let's go see then.
And as you
Yep.
guys leave this area and return to the world map. Well, probably
Thanks for
not,
helping.
but that's totally fine.
I'm sorry,
You-
all of you got very fucked up.
We're all still standing. And Jojo, make sure to check your pockets on the way home. But we accomplished quite a bit, and you two, this was definitely worth it to get you up.
I can't check my pockets. I'm holding Morgan.
It's fine. You can do it later, love.
There's like Morgans in your pockets.
Morgan's in my pocket.
Oregon, I'm going to shove you in this backpack briefly. I got to check my pockets. You guys make your way upstairs and out of this dilapidated shack. Going through, you end your journey outside where there's just silent night echoes out around you. Vincent, you scour for the elven individual, but you do not find him. However, and with your previous check of the area, searching through the entirety of the exterior, you do find a note attached to the side of the carriage, held in place by just a small dagger. Upon the note is written in Elvish.
He'll pocket. He can tell it's Elvish. He doesn't know what it says, so he'll pocket it.
Okay.
As
and
far
we
as
have a
he
hand
knows,
raised.
no one else in the group knows how to speak that. So
Matilda, you have your hand raised.
It's break time. We're late.
It is. And as you all find your way upstairs, we will be back shortly. You guys make your way out towards the Emerald Gates and past Akadi's district, through and past Akadi's own personal family home, And as you reach the entrance to the Emerald Gates, you see Lavos, who's kind of standing with just a pall above him, this black cloud that is just raining upon him, and this mild frustration as you appear that just disperses, and he walks up to you.
This was a little animated.
I got chewed out a little bit. That's fine. All in all, ended pretty well. Akadi seems pretty happy with us, actually. I kind of just explained what was going on, and I apologize for, going into a district, but she actually knew about us already. I told her we were second-rank adventurers, and she seemed pretty interested in that, and that's pretty cool. We seem to have made quite an impression on the outside of the city.
Before we got to the Emerald Gates, though, I just wanted to do some cleanup. When we walked out and Vincent took the note off the carriage, he checked inside. Were the humans gone?
Which humans?
The humans that had all the crystals in their eyes and stuff that were in the cart with the horses that we rode here with.
No, they are still there.
Okay. Did we bring them with us, or is Akadi dealing with that?
You could leave them there if you want. That's up to you guys.
Leon would want to find them a home, but if that meant like find out where they were and like help them, not like adopt them, but like if that meant that, like Akadi, like if that just means that like she would be like where do we take these people, and Akadi's like, I'll deal with it, then like so be it. But like if Akadi's not going to take that upon themselves, then
because they're like unconscious and injured in the back, so like Vincent's fine. He's just looking to get some more maybe fame from bringing them in. So if they're left there, he'll man the cart and bring them with us.
I will say this: all of these people that were like unconscious in the carriage and in the house as well, that were taken out and all kind of placed together, none of them are bound. As you look upon these people who had lived throughout the city, as far as you can tell, based on the information you had received previously, Morrigan looks towards you and is just like, you guys are hurting for family members, yeah? You might have some here.
Okay.
Never hurts to have, a couple more. One of these people might be a paladin or some shit.
It just seems odd to take a bunch of people into your home and be like, we healed you, but you can't leave. But we'll see.
We're not going to keep them as prisoner. It's like, hey, we helped you. Are you looking for a family? If not, get the fuck out of here.
Morrigan.
Lavos, do we have enough spare rooms for everyone?
We'll jump back first. Matilda, what were you saying?
Also, I don't really know if I want them there. They kind of fell for a really stupid ruse, and now they have crystals in their eyes. I don't know how good they're going to be for.
I mean, they fell for drinking a cider at a fair. I don't think that's like that bad.
They look really hinky.
You have very high standards, Morrigan says. But she looks at Vincent when also you say, like, oh yeah, it's weird that we'll be like, you're our family and now you can't leave. And she's like, is that not normal?
I was. Can he insight check what she just said?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Yeah, I want to too, because like even Matilda's like my family dynamics are weird, but even I'm like, what the hell?
Feel free.
23. I'm assuming the bless would have wore off by now.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know nothing, like usual.
I absolutely love that Matilda's insight maybe constantly leads her to believe that it's just like, what's like, I don't get you. Just like, is that, maybe it is, like, I feel like that's weird, but who knows, like kind of thing. Vincent, looking on towards her, inspecting her as she says this, she just, from the get-go, when you guys had been dealing with her, she constantly seems to be like at odds with social norms. And as you guys are just like, is kidnapping, we're not going to kidnap these people, that's weird. And she's like, are you sure though? Is like, to you, just, this woman has no concept of society.
That's fine. Vincent's been around worse. He'll just look through her and be like, it's just that usually starting out on a bad foot leads to bad things. So, but we'll see. Maybe they'll be grateful to us. So
this was the best chance I had, but I'm not going to stop.
Also, in regards to you are definitely joining our family, though.
Lavos talked to me about that earlier too.
If you don't, I think your standards are too high.
Or low. Staying with the other one. I don't know. What are we talking about?
I owe you guys. I do. And I'll join your stupid family. Stupid, poor family. Lavos is like, not there, so he doesn't comment. She looks towards you guys and says, when I needed help, you were there for me. And that matters a lot more than magic items or growling horses at the front of the carriage.
Hey, stop it.
Speaking of which, Vincent will go over and tear a sheet out of his book and hand it to you. Here's your little IOUs, by the way, for the information on the huddle.
Hey, maybe one of these passed out crusty-eyed people saw your brother. Maybe they've got something. It's another reason to bring them in, I guess.
So you guys, now, is there anything anyone else wanted to do before meeting with Lavos at the entrance to the Emerald Gates?
No.
Alrighty. Arriving with a full cartload of unconscious humans, you guys look onwards towards the Emerald Gates and the checkpoint that is the city. However, Lavos just begins to approach them as you guys all kind of lead off to the back and begins to discuss with the guards at the gate. And then they're just like, anything to declare? He's like, about a cart full of unconscious humans. And then they're just like, enter the room with us, please. And he's like, all right, my name's Kelly. And then exits into the room to the side.
Well, I needed him to take the cart. We need to go. I was thinking we could go register our names at the guild
I can
office
take
right
the
now.
cart if you guys want. I'll bring them back to the family home.
That's
at
true.
the entrance to the gate, Morrigan looks onwards towards you all and says, when I get into the city, I'm gonna have to go talk to my god, and we'll figure this out.
Well, if they leave you high and dry, just you can come. I don't know if your residence used to be there, right?
I
Just
lived
make sure
there.
you take your things before then.
Yeah, I'm gonna be moving into your guys' house. Hope you don't mind if I crash in a room to myself with fully furnished, of course.
Yeah.
Just
You could
nothing
be
on the
my
first floor.
roommate.
Try to take the second one.
She looks towards Matilda and smiles and places a hand on your shoulder and says, no.
How rude.
And yeah, a little bit.
I think you two will get along lovingly.
As you guys await, Lavos kind of leaves through the area having discussed what was happening and says, I'm gonna head straight on to the guild. I've got this lovely chap with me. He's gonna accompany me. So you all head on home or wherever it is you're going, and I'll meet you back at the family home.
Are they permitting us to take the cart, or do the guards quarantine the cart?
Lavos is just like, I'll deal with that. You don't need to worry about none of that.
Is he
Okay.
taking the unconscious cultist as well?
Yes. Yes. All the unconscious humans within the carriage, they're going to go to the guild and kind of discuss what had happened previously.
Well, we also need to head over towards the guild, but for different reasons.
All right, well, hop on the back. Just don't mind the unconscious crystal men. And then he moves forward towards the front, and you see this kind of elderly guard who you recognize. It's Kerrigan.
Sheridan!
Hello! How are you?
Hey, bad.
Oh, well, I hope
Well,
it gets
bloody.
better.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I have a
it's
job to do, so it is lovely to meet you all again. And this time, I'm sure we'll never meet again. He approaches the other side of the carriage and jumps on.
I doubt that.
Why, all right.
Who, Age, just as a reminder, who is this? That
the
slide
silver fox.
Okay. Vincent just smiles at him.
He gives a nod.
He jumps on
and
the carriage.
He
We'll
does.
never meet again. And then Jojo gets on the carriage. Yeah,
We're also going towards the guild, so hitching a ride. You don't mind?
He nods and gives a smile, and he's like, Kerrigan, you've done it again. And then sits down, just shores up his cap and prepares, puts his spear up, and just holds himself as he begins to whistle a tune, and you guys traverse through the city streets.
Real quick, are each of you bloodied?
I
Yeah.
am.
Vincent looks fine. To be honest, you're not 100% sure how well off he is, but if you put two and two together, you're pretty sure he's not doing well.
Yeah, Matilda's bloodied.
Okay. I'm going to give each of you a cure wounds as we
Oh,
ride in
nice.
this wagon.
traversing through the city streets and receiving the healing of Killian. You find yourselves now at the northern interface office of the guild.
6 is the medium, so you can't take less than 6. Whose is whose, by the way, Killian?
First one was Jojo, second one is Vincent, third one is Matilda.
Thank you.
5 would be the medium for this one, because it's 8 plus 3 is 11, rounded down to 5.
We're all good. We're all over.
Perfect.
Oh, dog is on the back. How long has it been? It's been more than an hour?
It's been more. It took a couple hours of travel to get from where you were.
Oh,
to
okay.
here. Yeah.
Partway during the cart ride, dog just like whimpered and ran off into the forest.
Can we get a short rest on the cart?
Yes. No, you absolutely can. But also, Jojo, what do you do about these shrubs that seem to be following you?
Oh, right. I forgot about that. I guess like as soon as like we are like about to get on the cart where we would have like lost them, I guess, if they didn't get on, they're still following her. And she's no longer carrying Morgan. She's just gonna like lean down and be like, okay, come on. And she's gonna like reach out her arm so that they can like climb onto her shoulder or something. How many of them are there?
There's 3 little shrub guys.
Oh my goodness.
The shrubby boys.
Clap your lap.
Yeah, I was like, okay, here we go. And I imagine that they just like wrap themselves around her arm. Like,
Yeah, 3 of them move in and kind of these just vine creatures form just this shrubbery cloak around you.
Yeah.
And you can actually feel this just constant like gravelly purring on your back. But as you command them to move, they do so. Almost instinctually towards what you tell them to do.
Oh, okay, I have children now. That's cool.
Oh, that's great.
You all make your way into the interface office, and as you kind of move through this large double bridge, Lavos takes his stance over towards the other side, and Carradine takes root guarding the carriage as he moves in and begins to speak with the office about what has transpired. As you make way into the office, you take note that there is a lot of adventurers here. There seems to be some kind of a congregation of people that is making somewhat of a fuss within the interface office. This northern office, as far as you've heard through rumors, is usually rather calm. So in this instance, as they're moving in, they begin to speak with the interface office at the front, and then just moving over towards the dungeon, heading up, or descending the staircase into the depths of the dungeon itself.
Vincent will look around for Sylvia.
Sylvia does not work at this interface office. She works at the one to the east.
Okay. Can he try and gauge like what people are talking about, like hearing whispers or rumors around us?
Go ahead and roll perception.
I want to do that too, or help.
Absolutely.
Man, I only just understood that these were the interface offices.
Yeah, just at the corners of the exterior of the dungeons.
Are
you rolling, Matilda, or are you helping me?
I'm helping. I'm proficient in perception.
Okay. We'll roll with advantage then. $17.
As the two of you begin to move around and attempt to gain information moving through the circles that sit and just bubble with rumor, you hear... Have you heard what's happening in the north? Oh, I have. Of course I have. Kobolds and some such. Orcs as well. They're coming. The rifts have opened and things don't seem right. Orcs now too. Indeed. I previously thought that they went out of the dungeon, but who knows? And then people continually moving in. Someone off to the side. If we've any information to be found, certainly it's on the higher floors. I've heard there's an orc chieftain who's taken root within the dungeon recently. You don't say. A chieftain? As the two of them continue to leave, heading past. A couple of halflings are just like, seems really busy today. This is fun. Let's go. Let's dive. And then begin to make their way into the dungeon, offering you no additional information. And as the large groups of people kind of begin to wean down as you wait your turn in line, that's what you gain.
Something to think about later, I guess.
Lavos comes back shortly after and is like, all right, so I offered a little bit of aid to the people, but in essence, I kind of wanted to research them. This all seems to be something to do with both of your rank breaks, so I thought it would be good to keep them around for the information. I'm going to go home and convert one of the lower rooms in the basement to an infirmary, and then we're going to figure this out. Probably some of the servants' quarters area. But for now, you lot, you did great. I'm so glad you're all okay. I'm going to head back home.
Thanks for coming to help us.
Of course. I can't possibly leave you. Not after everything that's happened. Like I said, nobody fucks with my family. Not anymore. So, if you need me, you know where I'll be. You can stand back towards the cart.
As Lavos turns around and heads back, he's 50 feet or so away. Vincent will, as we're waiting in line, just kind of off to the side to himself, send him a message. Hey, if you need some advice on how to be a boogeyman in the future, let me know. We can go over some more training.
I might just do that. As you send the message, do you do so stealthily?
Yes. They can't hear what I'm saying, like even if they saw, but we'll do it stealthily either way.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
Oh, ignore that. Use my new macro.
Okay. Your sneaky stealth, you kind of skulk off into a corner, and you cast your spell. Nobody seems to be any the wiser.
Jojo goes with Dad. Chops on the cart with Lavos. Come with you. I don't have a rank break to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Got to prepare for that. And then
I met with them, interface people.
Oh, you want me to drop you at the other office?
No. I mean, they're all going to the interface to talk about their rank break.
All right, so you and I are going on a picnic then.
We're going to go talk with these infirm.
They can wait. They can wait.
Folk.
They can wait.
No, let's go with the crusty fucks.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
He makes his way towards the carriage, and the two of you exit the northern chamber, and you can hear people kind of just chatting back and forth, like, who are they? Who are these people?
Where are the plants? I just want to know where the plants are in that.
They are all over.
They have attached to JoJo's left half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. I just needed that visual.
So as you enter into the interface, passing through, you guys go see your dungeon keeper.
Yes, you said Sylvia doesn't work in here. We'd have to, or did we go over to her branch?
You can pass straight through into the open courtyard of the dungeon and kind of pass through into the other interface office. Okay. And as you enter into this one, once again, just raucous. People kind of coming and going. Everything just happening all of the time. People stressed, trying to gain information and grab quests. And the entire board seems to be somewhat empty, and the notice board just full to the point where you can't even read any of the notices. And Sylvia approaches you as she sees you enter, and it's just like, oh, great to see you. Come on in. I don't have a room. We can grab, just here, come on. I've got a fine table. You lot, get away from that table. And she begins to approach this one area and just shoos people away. Sits down and puts a book down.
I guess it doesn't really need to be private, but we'll keep that in mind.
Everyone don't pay attention. It's private now.
Oh my goodness.
You now realize everyone will pay attention.
Everyone starts looking towards you.
It's fine, love. We're just here to re-register our rank breaks and kind of get on with our day.
You broke rank? Again?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Has it been like a month?
Yeah, a month or so since we got bound.
We've been busy.
I'll see.
Oh, Matilda, we're also gifted. Remember that.
All right, which one of you?
All of us.
3 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Vincent sits back like it's not a big deal.
She pulls open her book and begins to scour. It's like, well, that puts the ranking of the family substantially higher than it was before.
I don't expect I expect a couple more in the future, so.
I hope so. You're going to get me a raise. She just leans back. All right, so here, let me examine your bonds, please. And she goes through the motions of beginning to check you guys out. Do you allow her to see all of the information?
Yep. Killian is an open book with Sylvia.
As she scours through your guys' bonds, just happily and jovially writing down all of the information that's contained within. Just you see her write on this page, and it just slowly fades and dissipates after she begins to write. It's a huge tome, and she like flips the page, flips it back to the original one, and begins to write on it. The other 1,000 pages, virtually pointless. But as she focuses this and reads them all, she's like, "What does Shadow Walker mean? I don't think I've ever seen that title before."
Your guess is as good as mine, but I think it could fit in a certain scenario.
All right, I can offer you a stipend of 70 gold if you allow me to submit this to the open forums.
And what does that even mean, love?
There are several groups of scholars that are constantly attempting to discern the meaning of titles. We can submit Shadow Walker and your background and some of your name and a bit of information about you, and we can offer you a small stipend of gold as a thank you.
This just means that people will be looking into me, correct?
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
Right, so she'll just write this down, and then she hands you just a small pouch of gold. You can add 70 gold to your inventory. She's like, okay, let me see here.
Oh, and keep me up to date if anyone figures out why I have it. I'm curious to know.
She points down towards. Okay, let's see. Right, that's everything. Closes the book, looks on towards you all and says, "This is monumentous. It's not every day that multiple people Blake rank at the same time. But not only that, is your family with, you got 4 adventurers with you now. 3 of you are second rank. That puts you above probably another 6 or 7 families in different levels of power. Keep growing, please. I'm gonna go buy some earrings, I think."
You're using that raise very well.
Well, I have plans. I have for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sylvia, if we're doing you a service, why don't you do us a small one?
Anything you need whatsoever. As always.
At the, as long as my lovely family members here don't oppose, I wouldn't mind our names being spread a little more than they usually are. Let's get our fame up there.
Sure, absolutely. Do you have a family home location by chance yet?
Vincent thinks back. I think we all agreed that we're fine because it's going to come out anyways. I can't remember where we let off on that.
Don't recall.
Oh, I thought we talked about it 3 sessions ago.
No, I mean, Matilda's just like, eh. It is what it is. If you want to say it, you can. If you don't, you don't have to.
I think it was if we wanted to, for the court trial, if we wanted to have our name be part of it, then we'd probably have to say where our family home is. But if we wanted to pin it on someone else, then it'd be fine.
Yeah, and for the most part, we're pretty sure some people already know where we are, so it's not a huge reveal. Yeah, Vincent will. You can send them here, and he'll. Does she have a map open, or does she want me to name a district?
You just kind of point down towards Old Town. It's a very, very well-known part of the city.
Yeah.
Oh, Old Town. You live at the end of a forest. I heard stories of an old witch what deals with rot and decay within the forest of Old Town. Be careful. Although I guess you've lived there for a while now, as far as I can tell.
I think that's me.
I don't think it's you. How old are you?
18.
Okay. Definitely not you. This story's about as old as Old Town itself.
Might be something to look into, but if she does exist, she hasn't bothered us.
That's good. That's good. I mean, all the story says that she's there and that she deals with decay, so I don't know very much about it. Somehow, I think it's also something to do with a boon of fishing in the past. I'm not very much of a historian, but excellent. So if there's... I will absolutely spread the word. And are you recruiting by chance?
Of course, love.
If they're worthy.
Right, I'll make sure to put that in. It sounds spicy. Excellent. Is there anything else?
No, I think that'll do for now. Unless you guys
Beautiful.
have anything.
No.
I will say this because you have a majority of your family second rank now. If the young Georgian accompanies you, you can take on second rank missions. So that opens up your possibilities quite a bit. And I'll update your dog tags. Here you go. And she takes the previous ones and hands you guys brand new copper dog tags.
Vincent. Oh, go ahead.
I do ask her to put my name as the false prophet because Matilda thinks that's funny.
Ooh, that's very good.
Ooh.
And if it is a fuck you to the people that were calling her that in the first place.
That gets inscribed upon your dog tag within a matter of a few minutes. And enjoying a little bit more tea and a couple scones with your dungeon keeper, Sylvia Olea. You sit within the area and says, Killian, do you have an idea of your any title you might want? Personal title, the first one's free.
No, I'm good, thanks.
All right, if you say so, Firewalker. And then she leans back and just begins to prep you guys. And as she closes the book, looks around and sees the people around who are paying attention to this conversation, listening in. And she's just like, wow, 3 second-rank adventurers in one place. Amazing. In so short time. She jumps off the table and begins to move, just bragging out loud towards everyone who's listening. And the rumor mill begins to churn.
Vincent's going to go up to the front and sell all of our trinkets.
Mm-hmm.
Gold.
Exchanging them at the interface office, easy task. You take all of those golden trinkets and just exchange them to cold, hard gold. So you guys begin to split that as well.
Yes, so there was 1,200 in trinkets, 700 trinkets, which are now gold. So that's
And then 60 platinum.
yeah, so that's 600 gold. So it was 2,500 total in just gold. So if we split 4 ways, and then the family house takes a cut.
Okay, 2,500.
Just make sure to take the mule off the sheet.
Yeah. There is no Paka this time around. So each of you gains... Oh, that's easy. 500 gold, 3 silver, 8 copper. And the family gains...
Must be a decent, because it would be 625 each. So it's getting a couple hundred.
So 500 gold, 3 silver, and how much copper?
8 copper.
Because it should be 625 gold divided by 4 would equal 2,500. But with the house cut, they should be getting, it sounds like 125 gold from each of us. So the family house would have at least 400 and something gold.
Yes, they gain. One second.
Taxes. Just kidding.
Well, Lavos did show up, so this one I'm not too worried about him taking.
What am I
Yeah, he
supposed to
gets
do
paid
with all
this
my
time.
money? Like, is there like a bank? Like,
Oh, this is
Bank.
something Vincent was going to do with Killian during the downtime. But if you literally, as I were exchanging gold, and you have like this big bag in your hand, you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? Oh, we can stop by the bank on the way over. I'll get you guys signed up. Killian, you were wondering about that before as well.
Yeah, Killian is now like struggling with a bag full of 1,000 gold pieces.
This is
because
also
God-
not a good idea to carry around the city.
Yeah.
You have a mock target on your back. But I'm sure we
Okay.
can make it to the bank at least.
So with the family fame growing, and first off, you have you still have all of this information in your back pocket, however you wish to use it, of the cult and everything that you guys have done. Your favor with the Akkadi family has increased. And Akkadi seems to be looking pretty favorably upon your guys' family, as Lavos has spoken with her. You got chewed out a little bit, but that means good things with an abrasive individual such as Akkadi. But as your guys' fame increases, you guys sell this stuff for actually a little bit more. So each of you gains, it is a little bit more. You each gain 3 silver and 8 copper above that, which is why you have 500.38. But the family gains an even 500 gold from this exchange, meaning you guys actually still do 2,500 gold for 2,504 or so.
Okay.
But as your fame increases, so too does your rewards at the Dungeons Interface office when selling goods.
Beauty.
So the family actually has a pretty crisp 720 gold pieces right now.
Nice.
So that can be used to upgrade Old Town.
Well,
or
look
other
at the
things.
document after and see what we can upgrade.
Indeed. Lavos leaves his ledger in the office on the second floor.
As we're heading back, we'll stop by the bank in the Deanery. I can't remember what it's called again.
Oh, the one in the Deanery is the Godfather. The Dawnfather Bank and Trust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we will stop there.
But like,
there's only 2 banks in the entire city, and the other one.
I know, but like, how much like fees am I paying to keep my money in this bank?
You just have to have at least 50 gold in there at all
Yeah,
times.
Adrian, what's your interest rate at this bank?
Yeah, there's no interest rate at all. It's the best bank ever. No, you just as long as you have 50 gold pieces in the account, you have the account open. You can only be a member of one of the banks. It will get you a little bit of favor with Lathander's family, and it will lose you a little bit of favor with Joaquin's family. Or you can go with Joaquin's.
That's specifically why Vincent's not going with the other one.
If you have like 500 members of this
if you guys
bank,
want to
then
go over to
basically-
Joaquin's district, you can, but he takes you to the Deanery.
There was no mentions of any other banks. Let's just be clear.
Yeah, Vincent's just like, here's the bank, and if you guys are like, can we go somewhere else? He's just like, I don't know. of any
Smarter to
other.
keep your money at the house. Like, how does this like?
The bank is safe, basically.
We have a small safe at the house. I think it's mostly full right now, and we'll fill up with the family fund. You can keep your money there, but that means if you ever need access to it, you have to go back there. Well, the Deanery has multiple branches and locations.
The neat thing about this is you get a bank book, but you also get a personal seal. You can also
A little
use as your
ring
own
seal.
signature. Yeah, but
You can stamp documents with this as a signature. Also, if you're in a certain part of the city, you can just give them a check and they'll send the money here.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's helpful. All right, I will get a bank account.
okay, just don't drain all of your gold because in the dungeon, the gold that you have needs to be gold. Basically, if you're not in the city, this gold is protected. It can't be taken from you, but it's not usable unless you're in the city.
How much gold is recommended to have on your person?
I'd say about 100, unless you plan to go shopping. Like, just no more than 100 is needed. If you're carrying around like 500 or more gold, you're attracting thieves to you.
Yeah,
It's somewhat of a big bag you'd need to carry around.
yeah. Okay.
And Vincent will also dump a bunch of his. Does anyone have any issue with, like Killian? I'm sure Matilda would be fine making a bank account, but does anyone give Killian any gruff, or she's good?
Entering into the bank in the Deanery, you mean?
Well, just trying to get her an account set up.
Do you have prestidigitation as a cantrip?
I do.
Vincent? Can you give Killian a once over before she goes into the bank? She's
He'll
just
clean us
covered in
all up, yes.
gore and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, he'll clean us all up. He'll make us look presentable to go in. It's not like walking into Wall Street Bank. It's still meant for
any bank is Wall Street Bank to Killian because she's never
that's true.
done anything with a bank. So
It's hilarious because the banks in Surrey, they'll every thing outside will look a little but then the inside of the bank is all nice. So it's a bit of a trip whenever you go to the bank in some of the more crazier parts of the city.
And then what I usually do is just in my other possessions in my notes, I'd say how much I have in my bank account there.
And as you guys prepare, you can each add a wax seal to your inventory. And you can add a checkbook, which is basically just, you don't really need to worry about it. It's there. It has an unlimited number of pages. It's utterly amazing. But as you all sign up for a bank account, you do not gain any gruff, Killian. They seem to be very professional in this location. And as the day comes through to afternoon and evening, we look onwards towards this. As Jojo, you traverse through the city with
Bodies.
and bodies in this carriage.
And my new children.
Which are still just kind of purring away. You make all the way up to the edge of Old Town proper, where you find 2 individuals standing at the edge of the forest. And as the carriage begins to approach, they begin to move up towards you. You see You see a woman that... Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw first.
Oh.
It is not Danos.
Oh no. Where is my token? There I am. I'm at the bank. The wisdom saving throw.
Go ahead and move you from the bank. You are now here.
Normal. Oh, that bless probably doesn't. So it's a 7.
Hashtag unblessed. 7. As you approach, you see one of these women begin to approach you. One of which, this kind of like long platinum blonde hair that falls into a single braid, and wearing a white cloak holding a staff.
Can I use the bow tie to make it seem like I failed? I mean, I succeeded? Is that how it works? No, it's the opposite.
If you succeed, it seems like you failed, but in this case, you failed. So.
Sorry.
But as you begin to approach, Lavos, the cart comes to a stop, and these individuals approach. One of these women, long black hair, kind of tied back, her eyes just stark black silver, wearing this just kind of a nice-looking black suit. And as she approaches, you can see this just massive two-handed greatsword on her back that she just carries through. And as she looks at you, a chill runs down your spine. Just an immediate feeling of a need to flee, like a fight or flight, as they just look up towards you. And then they stop, and they approach, and they say, "Hello. We were asked to come speak to you on a few matters. Is this everybody?"
Who are you?
Lavos is like, "I'll handle this. Do what the lady says." And then he backs up and just gives a nod like he's accomplished anything. And you take control of the conversation once more. And then she looks towards you and she's like, very well. My name's Dallas. I was sent here by Lathander to begin to look into a few things. There seems to be a lot of interest around Old Town recently. Can't help but notice a renovated mansion at the far end of it. That's pretty interesting. Know anything about that?
Yeah. We're living there. You got a problem with that?
Personally, no. We also heard a very particular sound coming from this area. Now, I can see, just by the way you carry yourself and the fact that you're being a bit of a prick, that you're an adventurer. You see the other person in the back just kind of like giggles at that. Great. Fantastic. How far have you gotten into the dungeon? What's your highest floor?
We're new.
That doesn't answer my question.
Okay. 4.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Song of War?
Does Jojo know anything about the Song of War?
You do not.
No, I don't know what that is.
She's like looking at you and just staring intently as you speak. And then the other person in the back is just nodding every now and then. They begin to whisper to each other. Okay. Well, we heard a verse of it ring out in the city. It came from this location. Some of our friends had reported seeing a half-orc woman and Jaeger, which we thought was interesting. So, would you know anything about this half-orc woman? She just stares at you being a complete...
Yeah, I think I know something about them.
Excellent.
I think I've met them, maybe.
I'm just going to cut to the chase. What did you do and how did you do it?
He, like, looks to Lavos. I don't think I'm allowed to say too much about what happens in the dungeon. You should know that. He, like, looks her up and down.
She, like, leans forward and takes a foot up and steps up onto your carriage and gets in real close and says, "This isn't in the fucking dungeon."
It's about the dungeon.
I don't give a fuck. Answer the question.
I'm not going to let what happened to Helios' family happen to my family.
The other person walks up behind, and as you stand your ground, like, places a hand on her cloak and just, like, pulls back as she gets, like, just the entire intimidating air just shirks away for a moment as she's just yanked back from the carriage. And is like, "I'm really sorry about how she's acting. She gets this way around people who are just, like, equivalent." Does that make sense?
Equivalent. Dallas? Do I know of a Dallas from Lathander's family? Do I know of this super famous adventurer?
You may roll history with advantage.
To anyone who's curious, we interact with these characters in a one-shot prior to the campaign.
It's a 17 history
We're all
check.
giggling over the fact that we know them.
You are fully aware of this individual. The name Dallas in the city itself really only has a single ring to it. This is Dallas Atla, who is one of the highest ranked adventurers in the city. and is currently here speaking to you guys about this.
Equivalent. That's fucking Dallas Atlas.
It's more it's like two walls hitting each other. Does that make sense?
I get that, yeah.
She leans forward. I'm Lana. It's a pleasure to meet you, and just reaches out as the hand of mediation.
Yeah, Jojo like tentatively takes it.
We had a few questions. It seems to me like whatever this was that has happened is never going to happen again. Am I correct about that? Because if something were to happen again, that would cause much bigger problems that none of us want.
You able to tell me what? I can say I'm not going to do it again. Okay? I was trying to get the mask off. You know the one I'm talking about? I was an old man.
Both of them like think back and are just like, you said you got to the 4th floor, yes?
Yeah, I got the mask, not from the dungeon.
Oh. We might have more questions in the future. But Dallas leans forward and is just like, get a little fucking higher. And then we might be able to...
Yeah, we're working on it.
Talk out loud. We do not want to have to get, official about this. So be careful from now on. Also, we heard that other people are kind of looking into you too. I don't want to have to take over that one. That's a lot of work. So kindly stop making waves.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll give that one a shot.
Okay. The two of them turn, and they begin to speak to each other briefly before Lana turns towards you and just gives you a wave, and it's like, thank you for your time! All peppy and cheerful as the two of them begin to leave. And then you can hear them just kind of faint kind of just quarrel in the background as they traverse the street.
Jojo turns to Lavos. That was Dallas.
Oh no, I could...
And she just like...
You don't see too many ASMR in the city.
Oh my god, that's so cool. She was like this close to me.
You were called equivalent.
I know.
That means the same. The two of you continue to just gush about this as you begin to pass through the city streets, or the forest streets, and making your way towards the edge of Old Town. We pop back. As everyone gathers back together, we'll move into a period of downtime here. As you all prepare for the next leg of the journey, and with this situation surrounding Mistress family and the mysterious Iron Hall, this city in the south of Amaranth that seems to have completely cut off its ties with Amaranth itself, in dire need of the steel that comes from Iron Hall's vast mountain ranges. Several families are taking this very seriously, it seems. And as you all begin to prepare for this, we'll enter into a just shy of 2-month downtime. Is there anything that you guys wanted to do over this period of time?
Yes.
Vincent has something to do right in the bank that day, so...
Okay, yeah, we can absolutely kind of shift through these things. But as we move into downtime, we'll just kind of 86 the RP and do more logistics. As you all begin to prepare, Vincent, you head towards the bank in order to take out a loan of a stipend of gold for yourself. And as you all prepare in this time period in between now and when you are beginning to infiltrate this mission set up by Mistra, you look onwards towards this honestly very strange and somewhat terrifying, being hundreds of miles away from home, teleported out in a mission not your own to save a mother that seems to be missing. Whether she is in trouble needing saving or completely in handle of the situation, you do not know. But as all of this begins to just churn around you, Matilda, Jojo, you feel your ash bond begin to sizzle with possibility. And as all of this occurs, that spark of chaos begins to just churn around in your head as the just unknown nature of all of this almost seems to excite the powers that sit within you.
Mm.
And at that, we will end today's episode. Thank you all for coming. And until next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.